2-2. Hello, friends. Jim Nance, Phil Simms. Quick thought before kickoff. They're ready to go.
Just a quick thought. The New England Patriots, probably the best offense in the National Football League. So for the Dallas Cowboys, Brandon Weeden making his third start. You got to take off the reins, man. You got to go for it and score some points, and a lot of them, to beat this Patriots team.
This game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. The Cowboys won the toss and will receive the football. Lucky Whitehead is back deep. Remember, they just lost Lance Dunbar for the season in the game against New Orleans, but not even close to a chance to return this one. So Brandon Weeden coming out for his third consecutive start. Look what he's done, Phil. 76% completion percentage.
Played well, Jim, but as you look at the lineup, we'll talk about that later.
Tyron Smith, in many ways, the anchor of that outstanding offensive line. Jason Witten, he's moving in on 1,000 career catches, only 36 away. Weeden led the Cowboys on a game-tying touchdown drive in New Orleans, only to see the Saints win it in overtime last Sunday night. Here's the handoff, and it's Randall getting the first carry for a couple. And you know, you've been breaking down all the tape. Everything you've seen so far of Weeden tells you what?
I think he's played it very well, being a backup quarterback, replacing a guy like Tony Romo, and what he's done for this offense. He's made good decisions, made big throws. We saw it last week, last-minute drive against the New Orleans Saints. They have lost the 2 games that he has started, but he absolutely is not the cause.
They lost to Atlanta here 2 weeks ago, and then again at New Orleans last Sunday after 2 opening wins. Here's the play-action fake and the rollout by Weeden down the sideline, and he had a man there, Street, but the pass was off the mark. Here's the Patriot defense. Chandler Jones, back in the 2012 draft, was taken with the pick before Weeden. The very selection before Weeden went with the first round to Cleveland. Mayo, their captain. And of course Butler, their hero in the Super Bowl down in Arizona in February. Bill Belichick and his Patriots playing in this stadium for the first time. Last appeared in Dallas back in '07 at the old Texas Stadium. On their way to an undefeated regular season. 3rd and 8, and Weeden down the field he goes, and he was trying to find Terrence Williams. That was Harmon who came over to help out with Butler on the coverage.
They do this a lot. Anytime they see the defense has shifted to the other side, Brandon Weeden will take these one-on-one shots down the field. They're not high risk, Jim, but it's just hard to hit those type of plays. That time, double coverage on Jason Witten. So typical Bill Belichick, he's going to take away your #1 passing threat.
Amendola waits for the punt from Chris Jones, the left-footed booter. Some serious hang time, and right on straddling the sideline, Amendola makes the catch, takes it up to the 31. So Brady and the Patriots. This is Tom's 100th straight start. And the second time in his career he's had a streak that lasted at least 100 consecutive. Off to this fabulous beginning with a rookie center. Brady with 6 touchdowns, no picks through their first 3 games. Gronkowski, of course, always the man to watch. And as they break huddle, you can see the Cowboys are going to put their rookie first rounder on him, Byron Jones, as Gronkowski is split to the near side, the rookie on him.
That's what New England thought, that they would put the #1 pick on Rob Gronkowski, so they found out right away with the formation.
Brady, wide open, Edelman, 40, 50, to the Cowboy, 47, and a huge opening and a flag thrown in on the sideline after the tackle on the play that went for 21. It was J.J. Wilcox who shoved him out of bounds.
2 mistakes right away. Of course, the personal foul, hitting out of bounds, tight man-to-man coverage. You are going to get
personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 27. 15-yard penalty when you're in the run. First down.
Jim, you're going to have traffic problems when you're going with Edelman. Get him in motion, come across the field. Morris Claiborne has him man-to-man. He's got to fight his way through his own players and the receivers for the Patriots, and that's a hit way out of bounds. So when you play tight coverage, here we go, got it again. You got to be alert for picks, crossing each other. Tremendous amount of number of plays the Patriots can run against this look.
You got to think Brady can't wait to try to get Gronkowski involved with that one-on-one coverage, and the Cowboys in quickly on the quarterback, who tried to dump it off to Dion Lewis. Here's this Cowboy defense, this being the Dallas debut for Greg Hardy. More about his return shortly. Sean Lee had that concussion last week. He's out there. McClain just put the pressure on Brady. He had missed the first 4 games. The first 4 games of the season suspended. And Claiborne. I should see a lot of, you would think, Edelman today in a matchup. 2nd and 10. Again, pressure pretty quickly, and it's broken up by Sean Lee. Second straight play. Brady threw it in the direction of Lewis.
Well, they love that matchup on the outside. Sean Lee, number 50, watch him come from the inside and make the play. Tom Brady, there's Greg Hardy coming around the left side. Get some quick pressure on Nate Solder, but still, that's not the problem. The Patriots get rid of the football so fast, it makes it difficult for elite pass rushers to get back there and disrupt whoever he's trying to throw the football to.
Well, it's a 3rd and 10. And they're blitzing. It's McClain, and they take him out of field goal range with the sack. And Hardy's there as well. The 2 defenders who are playing for the first time this season busted across and got to Brady.
Yeah, McClain 55. It's a different look. It's a 3-man line. And if you're a veteran quarterback, Sean Lee's also on the blitz. 3-man line and situations like that, you know it's going to be a defense you probably haven't seen before. And we saw the game plan right there. Cowboys defense, very aggressive today, is what they want to do in this game today.
Ryan Allen on the punt, and it bounces at the 6 and comes back about 5 or 6 yards. The first Patriot punt in their last 25 drives in their last game. They're coming off a bye, but 2 weeks ago against Jacksonville, they scored on their first 9 possessions. Their 10th possession was just basically running out the clock. So Ryan Allen, who hadn't seen much action for a while, gets called on here on the first series of the game and downs the Cowboys at about the 12. Make it the 13. Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every story, every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now, cbssports.com/mobile.
Well, you know, you want to know, controversial, Greg Hardy, we'll talk about him in a minute. Is he going to have an impact? He had a pretty big one there in that first drive against that Patriots offense.
Yeah, he was in twice on Brady, and first down carry, it's Randall who paused for a moment. That helped him, and he picks up 5 yards. So, since Whedon came out of Oklahoma State, drafted by the Browns, first-round pick back then, this is his 24th career start. And you see, of course, the numbers, the winning numbers for Brady during that same time.
Well, Brandon Whedon here today, and since he's been with the Cowboys, I'm not knocking Cleveland, he's learning how to be a quarterback, get in the huddle, talk to the guys, communicate, be a leader, make checks at the line of scrimmage, things he never did in college and never got good enough at Cleveland.
On 2nd and 5, that's Randall, and couldn't get around Collins. Picks up maybe 2. Tony Romo with that broken clavicle, expected to be out right up to week 11. Of course, he's on that IR with the ability to return.
A lot of things to say when you talk about this Cowboy offense. Brandon Whedon's executing a lot of things well, but there's a little magic with Tony Romo. In other words, 3rd and 5, if it's not there, he can move around and make it happen. Those are things that Brandon Whedon hasn't done enough of yet. I expect him to be more active today.
Short 3, 3rd down, and here comes the sack by Hightower. Dante Hightower all over Whedon, and a loss of 9.
Looks like we got a fast track out there today, and you know what I mean by that? Up the middle. Oh, and Dante Hightower shows his ability. McFadden goes low, knocks him down, but it never gets hands and feet. Jumps right up and makes the sack. What a play by Hightower. New England a very good inside blitzing team with these big linebackers.
So each defense comes up with third down sacks. And Jones now punting for the second time. And it's back to the 30 for Amendola. Got some good blocking on that left side, and he takes it all the way to the Cowboy 45. Brought down by Ladiseur, the long snapper for the Cowboys. 59-yard punt, 25-yard return. I mentioned this is the first time the Patriots have played at AT&T Stadium. The last time they were down this way, October of 07. Randy Moss caught a touchdown. Wes Welker caught 2. Kyle Brady caught 1. And Dante Stallworth caught another. Brady in all. Tom Brady 5 touchdown passes in a 48-27 victory. Jason Garrett back then was the Cowboys offensive coordinator that season. From the gun, first down snap from the Dallas 45. It's over to Lewis. What an addition he has been. Down to the Cowboys 30.
Almost the same play we saw earlier. The difference is it's a blitz inside by Sean Lee, so he can't come flying out there to help Barry Church. Dion Lewis, fast, can run routes, tough matchup.
Here comes Hardy on Brady, and he's got the sack.
Oh my gosh, that was easy. The speed of Greg Hardy, premier pass rusher in the NFL.
He got right around Nate Solder,
who's a good starting left tackle. This will make the Patriots think about now, what are you going to do on the offensive side, Jim? Maybe put a formation there. Have to do some different things, because if you match him up one-on-one, the Cowboys told us he's ready to go.
2nd and 17. And they give it to Lewis. Church rides him down. So Greg Hardy, you've heard the stories no doubt all week. Convicted back in the summer of 14 of domestic abuse by a judge in North Carolina. Played 1 game for the Panthers last year, then spent the rest of the year getting paid on the commissioner's exempt list. His initial conviction by the judge dismissed on appeal after he reached a settlement, and his accuser did not show up for the next trial. Here's a little throw to Amendola for a couple. Anyway, given a 10-game suspension, later reduced to 4 games by an independent arbitrator. Now here he is playing for the first time. Talks to the media this week, says these absolutely outrageous, unrepentant remarks that, you talk to some people in Dallas and they thought, oh, well, hey, the guy was just trying to be funny. There was nothing funny about it. Now there's a field goal try coming up from Gostowski from 49 yards.
Talk about it more later, but there's a lot to say about Greg Hardy and people's opinion, the public, the fans here in Dallas, him being back in the game. But no question, what a difference here early, physically, he's made in this game.
So a 49-yard field goal by Gostowski. This is what we were just talking about. He had a season there in Carolina, 2013, and again, only 1 game last year on that commissioner's exempt list. Signed a deal with Dallas in March. Suspension reduced. You thought you might see some contrition from him when he met with the media this week, but it was anything but that.
Well, listen, the Cowboys, they did their work. Every team always says that we thoroughly went through it. I understand. They talked to high school friends, to coaches. They did it all. But here's the point, Jim. Everybody deserves a second chance. I understand all that. But if he wasn't borderline, he could be a great player in the NFL. Would he still be out there if he wasn't such a dynamic player? Because make no mistake about it, Greg Hardy, this team is healthy, is good enough to turn this team into a Super Bowl contender. I think that's how good he is.
Here's the kickoff. Again, it's going to bring a touchback.
It's like take the best player in the NBA team. Does he make everybody else better? Of course. So that's kind of what you get with him. You can see the speed and everything that's going on with him out there in the field already.
Well, we talked to Jason Garrett in our meetings leading up to the game, and he was obviously not very happy at all with Hardy, the way he presented himself this week for the first time before the media. He addressed it immediately. He says that's not how we want to operate as an organization. We do not draw attention to ourselves.
Distinguish yourself on the field, not off. That's what you say. That's what they've said. That's what all NFL teams want from their players.
So the Cowboys, with their third handle of the game, and Whedon is just going to dump it off to Randall for about 5. They've had a couple of 3-and-outs here at the start.
There's one thing that hits me. You know, this is the first New England game we've done this year. As you look out there, now the Cowboys, they fit the mold of what you want in the NFL. They are big and fast on both sides of the ball. This New England front now, as you look out there in the field, this is one big unit. So, and not only that, they are deep and play a lot of guys.
On 2nd and 5, Randall running off the right side for 2 more. Yeah, the Cowboys, of course, lose in the offseason. DeMarco Murray signs a free agent deal with Philadelphia. Last year, really, Murray did all the heavy lifting for them as far as rushing the football.
Well, they still miss him. Look what they're missing out of this lineup. This is incredible.
Yeah, here's your skill set from last year. And here's what we have today. Cole Beasley's becoming a big part of things around here, stepping up. Whedon at quarterback, Randall at running back. Williams and Witten remain. Plus, they've lost Lance Dunbar for the season as of last week. Here's the 3rd and 3, and not a chance as Collins again comes flying across the line. There is a flag out. How fast was Collins able to get right past the Dallas offensive front?
Every time you do a game in New England, you go, wow, this 91 keeps getting better.
Holding. Defense. Number 93. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
It's called on Sheard. Jabal Sheard.
From Cleveland, great addition to the team on the outside. He's going against Jason Witten. What he's doing, let's hold him up at the line of scrimmage. Make it easy for our safety, Devin McCourty, who's an ex-corner who can cover these big guys. Make it easier on him. So here we are. Third straight, that's the second different defense I've seen on Jason Witten. They're going to make Brandon Whedon, Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator, they're going to make them find a different way to throw the football and not just not to Jason Witten.
First Cowboys first down comes by way of penalty. And again, they choose to run it on first down as Randall for 3. We've got an update, and the final is in on Baltimore and Cleveland. JB has it in New York.
The Browns were down by as much as 12 in the second half. That's Travis Coons. That's a 32-yard field goal, 33-30. They go on to beat the Baltimore Ravens. Josh McCown, Phil, 457 yards passing today. Improved to 2-3. Back to Jim Nance, Phil Simms, and Tracy Wolfson.
And we got Dante. Thank you, fellas. Dante Hightower is getting a lot of attention here, which is very concerning for this Patriot defensive unit. But 457 yards passing by McCown today.
Nobody wants to hear it. You know, listen, he can throw the ball, and he's a good athlete even at his age. We saw what he did in Chicago, but, you know, we always wipe him off. And I gave you some of the numbers of backup quarterbacks, how they're playing in the year. Not that he's not a backup. Backup quarterbacks in the NFL, 12 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, completing basically 70% of their passes. That's pretty good stuff.
And just when we thought, having seen the Ravens win at Pittsburgh on Thursday night 11 days ago, we thought perhaps that was going to save their season and get their season jump-started. They back it up with a loss at home today.
It's the same game, Jim. Joe Flacco gets them a lead. It's late in the game. They give it up and they lose.
That's what happened to him out at Oakland.
I see it every week.
Coach Belichick even came out to make sure his player.
Well, he's improving year by year, Hightower.
I'd like to welcome those of you who are watching. The Cleveland Browns win in Baltimore 33-30. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson here in Arlington, Texas, where the Cowboys are down 3-0 here first quarter off a Steve Gostowski 49-yard field goal.
Cowboy offensive line off to a really shaky start against his front in the blitzes.
2nd and 8. And Randall, he had no chance. Right down the line they ran with him, including Malcolm Brown and Jamie Collins, who's had an active start.
Oh, man, if you want to lose your job with the New England Patriots, be an edge player, an outside linebacker or defensive end, and let a run get to the outside. You will be taken out, and then you might wait weeks before you get your job back. You'll have to earn it through practice and through bit of playing time as you get as time goes along. So they know how to set the edge. They're going to make you run inside to their big people and those big linebackers.
Randall, 6 carries, only 14 yards. 3rd down and 8. And there was jumping on each side. Let's see who they're going to call it against.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 50. The 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Thing about the New England Patriots that still amazes me, Matt Patricia, defensive coordinator, Jim, does anybody have just one role? A defensive ends, an inside pass rusher. Linebackers, they pass rush on 3rd. They're inside, outside. You got safeties that play corner. You got to be multitasking, to play, especially playing the defensive side.
On 3rd and 3, a flag is out as Whedon connects with Terrence Williams for 11. We'll check the flag. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson, and all the crew. Lance Barrow, Mike Arnold down in the truck. Welcoming now many of you from across the country getting here for the very first time. Opening quarter action here between the Cowboys and the Patriots. This is the 3rd possession of the game already for this Cowboys offense. 2 3 and outs, and now they've moved it down the field, thanks on one occasion to a penalty against the Patriots on a 3rd and short. And we've got another flag out here as the Cowboys thought they had converted on 3rd and 3 on this occasion.
There are fouls against both teams on the play. Illegal use of hands to the face, offense number 65. Illegal use of hands, defense number 25. Those fouls will offset, will replay 3rd down.
And for those just joining us, we've had 2 Patriot possessions. The first time they got as deep as the Cowboy 32 before Tom Brady was sacked on 3rd down. He's been sacked twice already in this game, but on their 2nd possession, that sack took them out of field goal range. Their 2nd possession ended with a Gostowski 49-yard field goal. So now caught up. Here we go. 3rd and 3. Cowboys from their own 40. Whedon, open man, it's Beasley for the 1st. Caught that right in front of Terrell Brown. Really? 6.
Sorry, Jim. What do? Cole Beasley, great on 3rd and short, stacking behind the other receiver. Now you got to back off. Number 25, Terrell Brown, has to fight his way through a receiver. Can't get there quick enough, and that's what you need. There's no doubt. Being aggressive with Cole Beasley is what they want to do, and be aggressive against Jason Witten. Disrupt the timing of them going down the field.
1st down, they've run it every time on 1st down. This time it's an open lane for Randall for a pickup of 13, make it 14.
Beautiful blocking on the right side. The center that time, Travis Frederick seals off. Zach Martin gets a good block. And this Cowboy running game, nice cut by Randall. Listen, it's not as good as last year. 1, nobody's DeMarco Murray. But 2, teams are playing the tendency. They are a huge 1st down running team. So if they are, they're putting some blitzes, linebackers up there, and making it tough.
3 tight ends, back to Randall. Who the last home game 2 weeks ago against Atlanta scored 3 touchdowns and had over 90 yards rushing in the 1st quarter. Thursday night football, Atlanta won today in overtime to remain undefeated. They'll be down in New Orleans as we head to the NFC South. Atlanta and New Orleans, your weekend starts here with Thursday night football. Falcons off to this fast start. They win it on a pick 6. Drew Brees and the Saints will be hosting not able to back up their win against Dallas last Sunday. They got trounced today in Philadelphia.
A lot of trouble in New Orleans. No doubt.
2nd and 8. Whedon zips it. Incomplete. That was Whitehead unable to hold on to it. McCourty helped knock it out of his hands.
Yeah, really good job. How about Devin McCourty? I'm watching him. Boy, he's, like I said, safety. Jason Witten. Now you see him covering a wide receiver. Whitehead. That throw, pretty good. Could have been about another 3 or 4 feet in front of the receiver, and maybe McCourty would not have got there.
What are you seeing out of Whedon here at the start?
Well, you know, I like what I see. Being comfortable. The defense is being aggressive. Let the game settle in. So in other words, he's not getting frantic because they blitzed and gotten to him. Just wait. It'll settle down. Decisions will become easier.
3rd and 8. He's back to Beasley, who was trying to go low and find that first down yardage, but he's a yard or two short.
And when in doubt, on 3rd down, throw it to 11. He is so quick. You know, Jim, you heard it. Brandon Whedon said that it's almost impossible to cover him when he's inside receiver one-on-one, and we've seen that in a short time here today.
Cowboys going to try to tie it on a Dan Bailey 51-yard field goal attempt. He's 6 for 6 at the start of the season. Here's Bailey's kick from 51, and it is easily long enough and dead center. And the Cowboys match the Patriot kick from earlier in the quarter. Jerry Jones, the owner, president, and general manager of the Cowboys, has been such since back in the late 80s. Sitting alongside the chairman of CBS, Leslie Moonves, who just recently celebrated his 20th anniversary at the network. To the back of the end zone, that'll set up the Patriots when we return at the 20. Brady 3 for 5 at the start for 37 yards, and he's been knocked down twice on sacks. A little hard-ate barbecue. Tom Brady always on Saturday night on road games treats the offensive line to dinner in the hotel, and that's what he did last night.
Well, absolutely.
Brought it in from here.
And you run an offense like this, you keep the big boys happy. And the best way to keep an offensive lineman happy, of course, feed him.
1st and 10. It's LeGarrette Blount getting his first action, and a flag is thrown in at the back end. Did you used to treat your offensive line to a little Saturday night meal on the road?
Absolutely. Man, they loved it, and they loved to see how high they could run the bill up to, and I didn't care.
How come you don't do that for your current team?
You're not blocking for me.
Number 76. 5-yard penalty from the end of the line.
Hey, it's still a lot of hard work. Don't kid yourself. All right, Tracy, let's go down to you.
Thanks, Jim. We saw Patriots linebacker Dante Hightower go down on that last drive. He was wincing in a lot of pain while athletic trainers were taking a look at him. I was told it is a rib injury. His return is questionable, Jim. Okay,
thank you. That last penalty, as you heard, was on Hardy. And it gives the Patriots a first down at the 29. And Blount takes the little pitch, and boy, he scrambles out, gets an additional yard or two. This is something the Patriots are so good about. At the end of a tackle, falling forward and somehow managing to squeeze out extra yardage.
Here's something else they're really good at. Rod Marinelli says it's the worst. These outside crackback runs, hard to see. They happen so quick, picked up big yardage.
And Blount still got 4 yards out of that. Tuesday on CBS, one pill makes him a crime-solving mastermind. Catch the new hit drama Limitless, new episode Tuesday, 10/9 Central, only CBS.
Here you go. Look what they've done. The Patriots came out, spread the football out. They were going to throw the ball and beat that man coverage. Uh-oh. The pass rush is better than we thought, so what do? Let's switch up, show them a little power running game. As Tom Brady says, we got more than just a driver in our golf bag. We got the whole set.
2nd and 6. It's Lewis. And he's got 3 or 4 Cowboys around him, including Tyrone Crawford.
And it's interesting talking to Tom Brady in this offense. He says, I don't really know what we're going to do in the game. We're just prepared for everything, and we'll see how it goes along, and we'll call plays accordingly.
So we've reached the end of the first quarter. New England and Dallas, 3-3. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson, second quarter starting here with the Patriots near midfield. What did you make out of the first quarter?
Felt like I was doing a Super Bowl. The intensity, the speed, the way they were playing, it was really ferocious, kind of fun to watch. And Jim, there's so much to talk about the Patriots. We've never got into the fact that they play so many different offensive linemen out there.
3rd and 1. They're 9 for 9 this year. New England on 3rd and 1. They go Blunt. And Blunt, that streak comes to an end. He is stacked up for no gain.
This Cowboy defense, it's got the two things that everybody tries to get. I said it. Look, everybody at the line of scrimmage, one person back. They got the speed and the size. Kitchens, one of the first to get there. But look at the penetration by the defensive linemen. They're all up. Rolando McClain in there. Great job. They took away, Jim, what? They took away the quarterback sneak. One of the great plays that the Patriots love to use in certain situations.
Hitchens and Church combining on that tackle. And the punt comes to Beasley, catches it on his shoulder pad and is able to get out to the 20. 40-yard punt, 8-yard run back. And the Cowboys offense coming back out. Yeah, the Texas State Fair going on, the annual tradition that goes back to 1886. Of course, out there at the fairgrounds yesterday, Texas upset Oklahoma at the Cotton Bowl, the old home of the Cowboys. 1st and 10 for Dallas, and that's run by McFadden for 3.
Well, there you go. First down run once again. But look at the number of people up near the line of scrimmage. I said, you know, when you play the Cowboys, and I've seen it. I saw New Orleans do it last week. Just try to outnumber them. First down, guess that it's run, attack the line of scrimmage, making it tough.
People say this Dallas offensive line is the best in the league. Do you agree with that?
Well, if it's not the best, it's right up there in the top 2 or 3. You can argue that. But they got to be a little more unpredictable on first down.
On 2nd and 7, Whedon had time and then goes underneath to McFadden, who's about 1.5 yards short of the first. This week, The Late Show, Stephen Colbert, Oprah Winfrey will be a guest, along with Jack Black and Jessica Chastain. All new this week, only CBS.
Well, if Jason Witten gets open here down the field, he is going to have to work. They are, you know, it's redundant, but what's the biggest weapon right now in the passing game for the Dallas Cowboys? I would say Jason Witten.
Yeah, and Cole Beasley, though, he's becoming a part of it, too.
They're both getting all the attention.
3rd and 1, and Whedon in trouble and just has to throw it away over the head of Beasley by design.
Yep.
With the defender right there, Ninkovich was chasing after the quarterback.
There's a reason why Ninkovich has been in this lineup for so many years, right, Jim? Here he comes outside. He goes, well, I'm not going to be one of those guys that chases the car down the road and be out of position. He stays in position. Nowhere for Brandon Whedon to go with the football. New England all over the bootleg and play action passes so far of the Cowboys.
4 drives for Dallas. 3 of them have produced 3 and outs. The other, of course, the field goal. And Amendola was out of bounds when he caught it. Good angled kick by Chris Jones. They traveled 55 yards. 3-3. Rob Gronkowski on the season. 510 yards running with the football in his hands. Now he's had 308 yards total, taking him 510 to produce the 308. And he's gotten up to a top speed of 19.9. That's top speed among all tight ends this season. Have been measured. He has not been targeted so far today, though. He's at the bottom of the screen. They're looking at him now. And he's got a catch right in front of Jones. And what do you make of this matchup today? Here's the rookie out of UConn, Byron Jones. What an assignment to draw for him.
It is. So far, I've watched, I think, every play. He's been tight, can stay on him, and it looks like he's big enough. He's 6 foot 205, but he looks much bigger in person. He looks like he's about 6'3", long arms, and not many people can go one-on-one with Rob Gronkowski, but Jones off to a good start. And also you have Morris Claiborne with Julian Edelman. He's matched up against him so far everywhere today.
They moved Marcus Cannon to left tackle, and they run it right up the middle, and that's Jones trying to stop him short, but Lewis able to bounce off the tackle and pick up the first down on a gain of 6. I just mentioned Cannon moves to the left side. This Patriot offensive line, they'll shift a lot of people around.
Well, you know, we can't tell you all the shifts because if we did, that's all you'd be talking about today. They've shifted both guards already. Marcus Cannon plays right and left tackle. Even in short yardage could play right guard. But it just shows you the faith and how deep they are along the offensive line.
First down, they're coming after Brady again, and the ball's knocked out. Still loose, picked up by Edelman. Oh, the Cowboys had a play on it, and again it was Hardy who was creating havoc in the backfield. He got around Marcus Cannon.
Well, you know, it's not worth it, but you could challenge this if you were the Dallas Cowboys and say it's an incomplete pass. That his arm was going forward, the football was in his hand.
And no doubt it was. It definitely was. The motion was going forward.
But it's not worth it for the couple yards.
Statistically, it goes as a sack. Here's Brady down the field, and look who's open. It's Amendola with a flag out.
Well, they're going to get him with a pick. Keyshawn Martin, number 82. Double team Greg Hardy that time, and they still could barely keep him out of the backfield.
Philippe Lakeman on the call.
Pass interference. Offense, number 82. A 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still second down.
Here they go. They're going to watch what they do. Blatant pick. That's a Corey White is picked. He's playing the inside. Here's Tom Brady. Look how fast.
Oh,
and
boy. He's taking a beating back there with
Jim.
This offensive line is getting beaten right now.
Well, what did we talk about? I said when you take a guy like Greg Hardy, just a little bit, make the quarterback hold it. He's worried about him. What it brings in DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyrone Crawford, guys that have been very close to getting a lot of sacks this year.
On 2nd and 18, he steps away from the pressure on the edge and dumps it off underneath to Martin. But Brady, it's not every game that you see this much pressure on Tom Brady, and much less get knocked down this many times for 4 quarters.
Well, look, they've started a trend in the NFL when you talk about the Patriots. The screens, the quick passes, get rid of it to make sure defensive lines cannot be a factor like we're seeing here right now. The tight coverage, the pressure defense has taken away some of the easy throws for Tom Brady, giving the defensive line that extra beat to get to him.
It's 3rd and 11. On him again. And the Cowboys defense has yet another sack.
Jack Crawford. You know, listen. Here he comes from the outside, and well, they got these tackles, Jim. They got them on skates. They're worrying about the speed, the crowd noise, and when you do that, you lose your power and you get pushed back.
We're not even to the halfway point of the 2nd quarter, and already Dallas has decked Brady 4 times, 4 sacks. Whitehead with Slater, who else, as he has for years, down there to pounce on the returner right away. This one belonged to Jack Crawford. During today's pregame, the Cowboys recognize 5-star breast cancer survivors on the field with Charlotte Jones Anderson and Nancy Brinker, founder of Susan G. Komen, and Tony Romo was down there also as part of the presentation. Together, the NFL and the American Cancer Society encouraging everyone to join in the fight. Crucial Catch Day, October 13th. More details, NFL.com. And a give here to Randall. Squeezes out only a yard. He's got now 9 carries for 30.
It's tough. Big defensive front in there now. And like I told you early, it's deep. They can rotate guys in there on the defensive front, keep them fresh. But it's not about the big runs. I said it. DeMarco Murray could hit the pile and fall forward. And right now it'd be 2nd and 6 instead of 2nd and 9 or 8.
This is, by the way, coming on the heels of Ryan Allen's 62-yard punt. It's the 2nd time he's pinned Dallas back at the 13-yard line. 2nd and 9. They get it over to Lucky Whitehead, and his first NFL catch goes for a loss of 3. He's the rookie out of Florida Atlantic.
Well, let me say this. Malcolm Butler, you remember that play in the Super Bowl, of course. That was pretty good stuff, and he has not slowed down since. If the Patriots can't recognize an outside receiver screen, what defense could? Because they must see it 100 times every week in practice, all during training camp, and they should be able to defend them well, and that was a great job that time on the outside.
Cowboys 3rd and 12 back at their 11.
Can anybody get open? That's the big question here.
They rush 4. Wheaton gets it over to McFadden, and McFadden, there is a flag out. He's right at the first down marker. We'll check the flag. And it might be a hold against the Cowboys.
Holding. Offense, number 65. Half a distance to the goal line. Still 3rd down.
Left guard, Ronald Leary. There he is. Look at him. Gets beat. We talk about being multiple. There's Jamie Collins, a linebacker, an inside pass rusher on 3rd down. Of course, when you look at him, though, Jim, he looks like he should be a defensive lineman.
He does. Collins, in his 3rd year out of Southern Mississippi, they took him in the 2nd round back in 2013. And he stepped up even back his rookie year. He's a very active outside linebacker for this Patriot defense that now is ready to jump on the Cowboys on 3rd and 18. Wheaton from the end zone dumps it off to McFadden, and he's able to get a little bit of space near the 18. Tripped up by Brown. 8-12.
Might be the best call of the day by this Cowboys offense. Don't take a chance. You're backed up. You got to understand who you're playing against. It's going to be hard to shut out the Patriots the whole game, even though they've done a great job so far. The Cowboys defense. Screen was safe. Helps field position.
4th 3 and out for Dallas. Cowboys so far 56 total yards in the game. Chris Jones. Bullet up the middle and brought down at the 45 by Kyle Wilbur after a 46-yard boot. And let's take a look at our nationwide Skycam here at AT&T Stadium between Dallas and Fort Worth. And it's 3-3. Again, New England begins with good field position. 3rd time in this game they've started at their own 45 or better. Quick throw and an immediate tackle on Amendola by Corey White, but we'll check again. Another marker on the field.
Illegal use of hands, hands to the face, defense, number 24. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. 1st down, New England.
Call the Morris Claiborne corner on the other side.
Going against Julian Edelman, and receivers like Julian Edelman, he's not 6'2", number 11 right there, but the hand to the face. But you win the battle with receivers like him slot receivers, you would say, by beating them up on the line of scrimmage and throwing them off the route.
From the gun on first down, wide open. He's got Edelman, who's tackled from the back of the shoulder pads by Wilcox, picks up 16.
Same thing, formation, tight coverage, and they switch it up. Oh boy, look at the feet, so quick. The shuffling of the feet caught Claiborne, made him fall down.
First down from the Dallas 34 to Dion Lewis. And again, he's able to sneak down that sideline for an extra couple of yards. Gain of 7. Tonight, what does President Obama have to say about Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump, and Hillary Clinton? Find out on 60 Minutes tonight, only CBS.
Well, slow them down, get a first down or two, get them tired. Now you got a better chance to throw the football.
Got a first down with that catch by Amendola. These quick throws not giving the Cowboy pass rush the chance to get all over Brady.
That's what they're famous for. You know, it was their game plan in the Super Bowl against the Seattle Seahawks, and they worked it to perfection. If the pass rush is the strength, get rid of the football fast.
And first down from the Dallas 23. And that thrown in the area. Dion Lewis, and again Brady hit the ground. Hardy was the one who did it to him yet again.
Well, he's really having a party from the Tom Brady's left side. We watched Greg Hardy get that hit. We talked to Tyrone Crawford on Friday, and Tyrone Crawford says, look, when you play the Patriots, there's no double moves as a defensive lineman. You make the move and you go. Because if you make a second move, it's too late. He'll throw the football.
Gronkowski at the top of the screen. He has 1 catch for 6 yards in this game. He's got Claiborne on him now, not the rookie Jones. We're going to the other side, the Lewis. Cowboys trying to converge, but Lewis so quick, and he's within a yard of the first.
Well, they switched up, Jim, because it was a zone. And all I can say is you play zone against the Patriots, that's what's going to happen.
And hurry to the line on 3rd and 1, and the Cowboys get a hand on Lewis. He breaks the tackle, and he gets within a yard of the end zone. They had him for the loss on 3rd and 1, and he slipped right past it.
How about it? The quick feet, able to just basically jump in the air, change directions. Tom Brady says it's unbelievable. Watch him and just see how many people missing when they got him dead to rights.
And the Cowboys not even set, so there was a timeout called.
Dallas takes its first timeout.
Again, New England, like it did on that 3rd and 1 run by Lewis, they hurried to the line. Look at this. Lewis gets him within a yard of the end zone. 3:42 to go in the first half, and the Patriots a yard away from the game's first touchdown. 1st and goal inside the 1. Hardy on the Cowboys sideline here for this snap. Blunt is the tailback, but Brady keeps, and that's got to be a touchdown. It is. Best in the business when it comes to a quarterback sneak.
Well, they read it, they know when to do it, and what's so important is how quick. I said to you before the game, it's like Tom Brady is moving forward as the ball is snapped, and the centers, they must practice it so much because the centers fire out, and what a good job that time by Andrews. And Jim, so every time they get in a situation, if you line up in a defense that doesn't cover the center or pinch it on each side, he's going to get that quarterback sneak on you.
21st consecutive trip to the red zone, regular and postseason, where the Patriots have produced points. Gostowski adds the extra point. And it's got to be a frustrating half for Tom Brady, being sacked 4 times. Took out some of his frustrations after that touchdown, his first rush touchdown in 3 years. Look at Tom Brady. We saw how he spiked the football in the end zone. Let's go. That's what he says.
Well, he's doing a little yelling today. I saw him a couple times going off the field. I couldn't quite pick out who he was yelling at. I just know it was one of the offensive linemen. So, high expectations. Of course, They usually meet them too.
Kostowski, the kickoff, goes 7 yards into the end zone where Whitehead wants to run with it. And again, for the
Terrible
third time,
decision.
the Cowboys, not a good one at all. Third time they'll start a drive at the 13.
Yeah, it was high. It was deep in the end zone. Don't do it.
Let's go to Tracy.
Thanks, Jim. You mentioned earlier this is the first time the Patriots have played here at Cowboys Stadium, and I had a chance to speak with Tom Brady about it. He said it's weird for him, playing in the league for 16 years, to experience a new stadium. So he came out onto the field a little earlier, checked out the clocks, checked out the big scoreboard, and just tried to get a little acclimated to the situation. And Bill Belichick telling us he reminded his team all week about the distractions the stadium brings. He said, expect a circus out there. It seemed like they were stunned early, but a huge touchdown there, Jim.
Well, the Cowboys now will try to respond. We'll call it from the 14. Thanks, Tracy. Whedon. Just a little dump off here to McFadden. Tries to activate the stiff arm on Justin Coleman.
Well, what you do, I like that. That was different. Getting the shotgun first down. It caught the defense maybe a little by surprise, so they give you an easy completion. You know, the Patriots, like any team, if you make them keep rushing the quarterback, they're going to get tired, and maybe that's a way they can get some of these receivers open. I mean, so far, Cole Beasley, so we've seen him shake a defender, but really nobody else.
It's a handoff to McFadden, and again the Cowboys will face a 3rd and about 4. Well, you look at the Cowboy wide receivers. Beasley has 2 catches for 12 yards. Whitehead has 1 catch for a loss of 3, and Witten has not been targeted so far. So the wideouts have 3 catches for 9 yards, and this is what you have without Dez Bryant.
And that's exactly right. They're just so reliant on one guy to help you. It's like Greg Hardy. There's Dez Bryant on the sideline. What he does for defensive linemen, Dez Bryant does the exact same thing for wide receivers. He helps them get open because he draws double coverage.
3rd and 5. Whedon is almost intercepted. Right in the hands of Chandler Jones, who dropped back into coverage.
Chandler Jones, 95. Here he is. Turns, reads the quarterback. And Brandon Whedon, he lost all we see in front of the receiver, but sometimes you just go, I want to make a throw. You get tired of dumping it short. He took a chance and lucky to get away with it.
5 of the 6 Cowboy possessions have failed to produce a first down. So Chris Jones for the 5th time. Short punt this time, and New England with a flag out returns it to the Cowboys side of the field. Brandon Bolden was in so fast on the punter, he influenced that short punt. Andrew Gatchkar on the tackle.
Starting field position, it is a big difference. 16-yard line for the Cowboys. New England their own 34.
During the return, holding, return team number 26. A 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, New England.
So that's a call on Logan Ryan. They'll put the football back on the New England side. But 2 minutes to go in the first half. Brady and the Patriots also have all of their timeouts, leading 10-3. Coming out of the 2-minute warning in Dallas. And the Patriots leading at 10-3. They had 3 timeouts, just drove it down for the game's only touchdown. Brady scoring from a yard out.
Big drive for this Cowboy defense. Down 7, keep their team in the game.
Brady steps up and slides for a gain of 1. The Verizon halftime report is on the way. There were actually 3 overtime games in the early window today. We'll have all the stories from the early action. JB and the crew will also preview Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. The Atlanta-New Orleans game coming up in 4 days' time. 2nd and 8. Well, they blitz, and Brady is able to get rid of it. Ball looked like it might have been tipped.
Oh, it was tipped. Caught me by surprise. Here it comes off the edge. You're thinking, oh, it's going to be a zone the way they lined up. And they caught the, I'm sure Tom Brady thought the same thing.
Corey White
playing the nickel back this week, taking over for Tyler Patman. They like the fact, just the speed, his size. So far, he's played pretty well out in the slot.
The #1 third down offense in the league is only 1 for 5 today on third down. 3rd and 8. Brady's pass incomplete off the fingertips of Gronkowski, who's had a quiet first half.
Quiet first half. Really good job of the Cowboys defense. One or a couple reasons. The pressure on the quarterback. But how about that? Excellent, excellent coverage by Byron Jones. And he's down on the field right now.
We've got a Cowboy defender down, and it is the rookie Byron Jones. Boy, if the Cowboy offense can get in sync like that group of fans, maybe put up some points before the half.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of shaking going on.
Yes, there is. By the way, the Cowboys charged a timeout.
That's right.
Because of the need for Jones to get off the field. He was fine, it appears. And the Cowboys start in a better spot than their own 20. That's the best they've had so far. Nope, they're going to be back at the 13 again.
Well, let's talk about this Cowboy offense. Not running the football real well, but you tell me where you want Brandon Weeden to throw a double team on Jason Witten. Nobody open as you go across the field. And how about this one? This is the play that I've seen a lot of. Double team at the bottom of the screen and just locked down. Everybody shadowed by a New England defender. You know, New England, oh, this is going to change their team. They lost some of their defensive backs, and Darrelle Revis is gone. They're playing as much man-to-man coverage now as they did last year with Darrelle Revis out there helping them out.
The timeout means the Cowboys have only one. And remember, from the New England side, if they can make a quick stop, they still have all of their timeouts.
Cowboys need to find a way to get a first down.
And that's a drop. Beasley, usually so reliable. And the clock's at 1:06. Again, the Verizon halftime report is coming up. Back in the studio in New York, there's Tony and Coach Cower, Bart and Boomer, and JB ready to preside on the Verizon halftime report.
I was going to wear that coat that Bart has on today, and I said, you know, I'll wait.
Thursday night.
Thursday night, I'll do it.
New Orleans. Cowboys have not picked up a first down in 18 minutes of action. 2nd and 10.
Oh.
Wheaton hits the ground back at the 5. It's sheared with the tackle.
Yep, left guard. That time Leary just got pushed back and ran over.
Timeout, New England. How about Jabal Sheard? What an addition he's been for this Patriot team. One
of the big sneaky free agent pickups of the offseason, I think. And oh boy, he got Leary just backpedaling. And once you get in that position as an offensive lineman, I know it's rough. That's a tough spot. And of course, the other one, just guys that you don't pay attention to. Dion Lewis being picked up. And they both have one thing in common. They both were in Cleveland, and New England had their eye on them.
On 3rd and 18, Cowboys go draw out to the 11. The other thing, they actually have more than one thing in common. They both had caught the eye back in Cleveland of their former general manager, Michael Lombardi, who's now with the Patriots as a personnel man, and he's responsible for them both being in New England.
And they've really been, Dion Lewis speaks for itself. Everybody can kind of see that. His runs, his catches, and all that stuff. But Sheard, I loved him in Cleveland. So, you know, always players got to move because it's usually about money. And he fits what New England's looking for, a player that can do multiple things, play the edge, play inside on pass rush, which we just saw. And really, he's played well every game. And that was a huge series, Jim, by the Cowboys offense, not getting one first down.
They have only 3 first downs for the half, and they all came on the one field goal drive. Other than that, nothing. Jones tries to angle this to the sideline again. Now, let's see how far forward they go. 45-yard line. It's been really pretty much the whole first half has been like this. New England right around its own 40-45. The other end, the Cowboys back inside their own 20.
How about this? The blitz up inside McLean. Greg Hardy.
Jack Crawford
that time, but the pressure, you just haven't seen this kind of pressure, of course, on Tom Brady all year. We did see that one good drive when they could spread them out and do all the things that they love to do. The Cowboys, if you get a little tired in this drive, do not be afraid to use that last timeout to slow this offense down.
Hardy is not out on that defensive line to start this series, but someone else is on Brady this time, and they've got a sack with Tyrone Crawford.
There's the guy that really could step up and get some good numbers because of the pressure that Greg Hardy can create. Tyrone Crawford, he's been about 1 foot away from about 8 sacks this year.
Well, how about 5 sacks by Dallas in this first half, and the clock running as Brady again under attack, steps out of it and is able to get it to Edelman, who's getting him in field goal range. Maybe not quite. It's got to be close at the 13-second mark. He's at the 39, and Edelman breaking a tackle. Who knows? From here it'd be about 57 yards from Gostowski, but they have a chance to run another play.
Well, look, that's all Tom Brady there. No question. Said to him last night, you know, you're moving around more than I've seen you move. And he goes, yep, I'm watching the other quarterbacks in the league. I'm studying them. They're moving. So he has been moving. Of course, he moves to throw the football. Saw it against Jacksonville. I've seen it every game.
Edelman,
and that was a big play there.
And Amendola and Brady, they spent a lot of time in the offseason training together. Brady even took him up to Montana. And at 9,000 feet, they went through their own kind of boot camp, if you will. Starting at 6 in the morning, working out, and throwing the football around with his 2 receivers.
It's amazing, isn't it? That hard work, it pays off. And every time the Dallas Cowboys have not played pressure defense, the Patriots have made a sizable gain against the zone.
And hold on. Timeout first called by Dallas. They put the clock back at 14.
Takes the 3rd and final team timeout. This is a 30-second timeout.
Pretty much if you tackle the Patriots in the field of play, it's doubtful they could get the field goal unit out there to try a kick before the intermission, and New England is out of timeouts. We saw the same situation at the end of the half in Houston, and of course the Texans on that occasion Thursday night hit for the Hail Mary touchdown.
Only thing I'm going to say, New England's a little different. They do so many things in practice situations. If he throws a short one over the middle, it would be close. I wouldn't want to try it, but they might be able to get up there quick enough, line up and spike it.
Brady, he too is going for the long ball. It's Matthew Slater, and it's incomplete with 8 seconds remaining. Slater so seldom used on offense, but when they bring him out, it's usually the fly pattern.
That's right, because he's fast, and he's the Steve Tasker of our time, isn't he? The best special teams player in this generation. Just
exactly
fantastic. And
well, let's see, our Gostowski attempt here is going to be from 57 yards.
He was hitting the back of the net from this distance in warm-ups. I know it's game, different footballs, but this distance should not be a problem.
It would be a career long if he makes it. Gostowski's kick. Plenty of leg.
Hit the net.
Who said he needed another 3 or 4 yards to be in field goal range?
Well, the line did. No, he just.
That one looked like it could have gone another 6 or 7 yards out.
Jim, you know, watch them in warm-ups. I always watch the kickers, and you just go, I don't know what they're going to do. Do you want to change the footballs that they kick in these field goals? Because pretty soon we're going to, indoors especially, they make it look so easy. And Tom Brady knows 3 points in this game is a big deal.
How about Tom Brady has never been sacked 5 times in a half in his career, and he still leads by 10 with halftime just 3 seconds away.
Well, we're talking so much about that side of the ball, the Patriots offense, Cowboys defense, the sacks. Really, what's the story of the game? The Cowboys, their offense, nobody can get open. And the Patriots defense is manhandling the running game.
So, give Stephen Gostkowski his due, the 10th-year kicker out of Memphis who has led the NFL in scoring the last 3 years and leads again this season. He's just kicked his career-long field goal and tied the New England all-time record long of 57 that belonged to Adam Vinatieri. Now they share it. It's amazing how much room he had to spare.
Just not surprised. I'm surprised more. I know. Okay. Yes. They always can kick it farther than we think, right?
Mm-hmm. Who are we to say that they can't make it from way out there?
I get bored watching the teams warm up, so I watch the kickers a lot. So
no, you do. So Cowboys take a knee. They've got to sort some things out for sure offensively, as they generated only 60 yards of offense and 3 first downs.
They're going to have to, I'm going to just say it real quick, they've got to give their team, they've got to be more deceptive. Formations, movement, make the Patriots back off a little and guess at what you're going to do instead of just lining up and making it a fight.
All right, let's go down to Tracy.
Thanks a lot. I'm here with Jason Garrett and Coach. Tremendous job by your defense there, but how do you get something going offensively to keep them off the field?
We just got to keep battling. We got to keep battling throughout our football team. The defense has done a nice job pressuring the quarterback. We got to slow them down. Can't let those receivers get free offensively. We just got to be good on first and second down and convert some of these thirds. Keep mixing the run and pass.
Any chance we could see Matt Castle at all?
No, we're going to keep banging away. We're just going to get it done for us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Good question there. They're going to stay with Wheaton, who was 7 out of 13 for 36 yards in that first half. Only 1 touchdown. That was Brady on a 1-yard sneak. 2 Gostkowski field goals, including a career-long 57 yards. And the Verizon halftime report's coming up. And Cowboys are going to be kicking here momentarily to the Patriots. And now it's time for Who Are You Lovin', presented by McDonald's. Brady right behind his rookie center, David Andrews. A yard out, the game's only touchdown. And Phil, what are you looking for here in the third quarter?
Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. The Cowboys had 11 first downs, 8 runs, 3 passes. You got to get this defense, guessing. And you got to open it up a little. You got to make it easier or find ways for Brandon Weeden to get some easy plays. I think we chronicled it well in the first half. Nobody getting open. You got to do it with movement and formations and surprise of the play.
Sean Martin will take a knee. So how do you think Brady comes out of that first half? He got the lead, but you've never seen him hit like that in a half. First time in his career, sacked 5 times in a half.
Well, I think he reacted very well to it during the half. He was composed. When he had a chance, he still made the throws. And, he didn't panic under the pressure of the pass rush and just throw a football when he didn't see something cleanly.
Look at the first half numbers. 12 first downs for New England. Again, only 3 by Dallas, all coming on one drive. The drive that produced the 51-yard field goal by Bailey.
Goal line offense, first play.
And Blunt, the big back with a flag out, is stacked up by Claiborne and Crawford and Sean Lee.
Holding, offense, number 11. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. So first down.
Call on Edelman. Let's go down to Tracy.
Thanks a lot. I had a chance to speak with Bill Belichick coming out of half. As for the 5 sacks, he said his guys just need to get open quicker. One of those guys, Rob Gronkowski, just 1 catch in the first half. An update on Dante Hightower. He had a rib injury. He has been downgraded to out. Jim?
So Hightower will not return for this Patriots defense. Meanwhile, the Patriot offense, 1st and 20. Brady's pass. There is Gronkowski shoving aside a defender and stiff-arming Wilcox as well.
Byron Jones all over him, up on the top side of the field by themselves, and that was nothing Jones can do. That was not offensive pass interference. That was a perfect throw by Tom Brady, back shoulder, and the big Gronk made the adjustment.
Man, look what Gronk did, though, more importantly, after the catch.
He can rumble.
He just tossed Byron Jones aside like he wasn't even there, and then almost was able to stiff arm and get away from Wilcox.
As guys that have played against Gronkowski have said to me, oh my gosh, he's so much bigger and faster and athletic in person.
And that's a gain of 33. First down carry by Blunt. It's good for 3 yards.
I mean, I don't want to overstate that one completion, but it's like a game changer here. They got him backed up. 1st and 20. Here we go. You're covering everybody pretty well. Perfect coverage by Byron Jones. Field position changes, and it just changes the whole atmosphere of the stadium. It's got to be deflating for the Cowboy defense also.
You know what it was? It was the longest play of the game to this point. 33 yards, setting him up now. Now past the 40. Here's a 2nd and 7 toss over to Dion Lewis. Look at that wiggle, and another one at a first down. Boy, can he fake out a defender with the best of. Sean Lee brings him down, but it's a first down.
Yep, and you know, you said it.
They got away from Sean Lee, I should say.
Patriots had their eye on Dion Lewis. They love throwing the football to him. They like handing it to him in the run game too. And what did Dion Lewis say? I feel so fortunate because of politics, ego of front office people, not drafted this money, that he got another chance. And the Patriots are a team that gives unique players like him a chance.
First down, Dallas 46, Blunt. He's got 6 more down to the 40.
You know what I mean?
Pretty interesting. Oh, no question. Yeah. It's such an interesting dynamic what they have now at running back. You got the big bruising back like Blunt, who we've seen in New England, post magnificent numbers in some games. And then you got the short, shifty running back like Dion Lewis. What a 1-2 punch that is. Little Blunt again, and he is, well, he's not brought down in the backfield. He's able to get back near the line of scrimmage as DeMarcus Lawrence had him first, no gain.
This comes to my point as you watch the penetration, the tackle on LeGarrette Blunt. Bill Belichick, give him a lot of credit. He saw the rule changes in the NFL and how things were going to change in the game of football. So he made his offense much more diverse, got players that can do multiple things, make it harder for you to figure out what they're going to do on the offensive side. And he was ahead of the curve. The hurry-up offense, the spread offense with Randy Moss back in 2007, and got a good quarterback, of course, running this offense.
He's got Gronk one-on-one at the bottom of the screen. 3rd and 5. There is Gronk. First down. Gronkowski gets separation from Jones and takes him with him to the 23. So Gronkowski now starting to get in the flow of things. His 2nd catch on this drive, this one for 18.
Goes underneath, and it's just a little diversion. The inside receiver comes out. It makes Jones like, oh, okay, I don't want to get picked. He gives ground, then it's too late.
51 yards on the 2 catches on this series for Gronkowski after only 1 catch for 6 yards in the first half. It's back to Blunt. He's inside the red zone where, as we mentioned last time, once they get to this point, New England has scored the last 21 trips inside the red zone.
Well, Cowboy defense. Another tough spot for him. Rod Marinelli, defensive coordinator. They got to keep the aggressiveness there and going against this offense. And the other thing is, you get tired.
2nd and 3. And Blunt. There's a flag just thrown into the back of the pile. And a holding signal. They're going to say this is going to be a call against Dallas, it appears. Remember, the second half began with a touchback, and then a holding call had New England back to the 10.
use of hands, hands to the face. Defense, number 55. It's a 5-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
So instead of it being 3rd and 2, it's a first down now for New England at the 10-yard line.
4 players come off for the New England Patriots. 4 more substitutions come in. Pretty funny, and the 4 that came in were all small. The running back, 3 receivers.
Edelman. Is Brady still with it? Over to Lewis. Underneath he goes and into the end zone for the touchdown. Sensational effort. A one-handed catch, and then he ducks underneath the Dallas defender and finds that end zone.
He might be short, but he is strong. Recovers with the catch. Look at that. Goes underneath. You know, there is something to it. When you're a short running back, this happens a lot. Players, that was Jack Crawford, just ran right over the top of him. I've seen him do this a few times already this year. And we met him last night, and you can tell, Jim, when you meet him, he is, like you say, he might not be tall, but he is strong looking.
Wisnowski adds the extra point. He went to the University of Pittsburgh right behind LaShawn McCoy and ended up being in Philadelphia as a backup. Gives McCoy a lot of credit for teaching him how to make it in the NFL, and he's making it big in New England. Touchdown, Patriots. Robert Kraft, the chairman of the Patriots. Danny Kraft alongside, and just witnessing now Tom Brady and his 402nd career touchdown pass back into a tie with Drew Brees for 4th all time. And the Cowboys' first possession of the second half will begin at the 20.
They're going to feel like that's midfield.
Some of the art here at AT&T Stadium. The Cowboys now try to get a little creative offensively after producing only 59 yards in the first half. Randall lost his footing for a moment, but regains footing for 5. That's what it looked like, their first half chart.
It was rough. It was rough. And you said the word. They gotta, you know, I really thought they were going to do more with Brandon Weeden today instead of trying to be the team that they were last year. Let's run it and dominate the clock. Look at this defensive front for New England. I'm a long way away, and they look big from this far away, so they're tough to run against.
And here they run again with Randall, and able to keep his balance, get within a yard of the first. Wake up and watch with the world for the first time ever. The NFL is streaming a live game on Yahoo. Bills Jaguars from London, Sunday morning, October 25th, 9:30 Eastern. And learn more at yahoo.com/NFL stream. So the Cowboys have 3 first downs all day. New England just managed 5 on its last possession. And they brought in Christian Michael, who they picked up from Seattle on 3rd and 1. That was a good move there, wasn't it? Get outside and pick up the first.
I think I'm anxious to see him here. Now, you know what I say, this New England defensive front. What a read. Takes it off tackle here. Sees it fast. Low to the ground kind of runner and strong. Got him from Seattle. Now, this New England defense, when I say their front now, I know they have not been good at stopping the run so far this year. But they are building it. They're getting some guys back. They're big. This defensive lineman, they're deep. And they got big linebackers, too.
First down at 25 minutes. Throwing now on 1st and 10 and incomplete. Look at the coverage by Malcolm Butler on Terrence Williams, who has been held without a catch. Williams, who caught the tying touchdown against New Orleans on Sunday night.
Look at this. I mean, it's just all over him, and he's been like that all day long. So it's almost like in this game, and Terrence Williams, I understand Dez Bryant's not out there, but it's like having Darrelle Revis. They're taking extra guys and putting it on Jason Witten. And then where's Brandon Weeden supposed to go with the football?
Yep, no catches Williams, no catches Witten. And it's 2nd and 10. And they're on Randall right away. He's going to take a couple of players with him. Maybe get another half a yard out of it.
You know, I saw Kristen Michael come in there and run the ball, and I thought, ooh, that looked pretty good. Maybe we'll give him another chance, but you know, usually when a running back comes in a game, I'm sure they're worried about pass protections and some of the other things that he hasn't been around here long enough to maybe accomplish and get ready for.
Receivers brought in for this 3rd down snap. Devin Street and Lucky Whitehead. Been caught. There's a flag out right in the hands of Street.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 32. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
So McCourty's infraction keeps the Cowboys drive going.
I thought they meant maybe 22 on the outside. Well, it's, you know, if that is, I didn't see really either much contact by 22 or 32. But how about Justin Coleman, a rookie, going out there, and I'm watching all the games they've played this year before today's game going, man, how do guys come in the league undrafted, play for the Super Bowl champions, and find a way to get on the field and cover the 3rd receiver?
Yeah, he's a rookie out of Tennessee as Coleman, the DB for the Patriots.
Ball start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Saturday, the SEC on CBS brings out the best game from the best conference. Nick Saban's Alabama Crimson Tide going against Kyle Allen and the Aggies. Alabama, A&M. It all begins with college football today. So Wheaton with 3 straight incompletions. That's the first time that's happened now this season. This is his 3rd start of the year for Romo. He's back on the completion train, and he's got Witten for the first time today. And a 1st down. Picks up 16.
Watch Gerard Mayo in the middle. They got 2 guys crossing, and whatever he does is going to be wrong. But the big thing is a couple things. Protection, and you notice the New England defense backed off a little, and Brandon Weeden found the open guy.
965th catch of Witten's career.
What's it?
It's going to be a Hall of Fame career, you got to think. Here's Weeden. He's got Randall, and Randall reaches out about a yard shy of the 1st. That's Mayo, holds on to him.
Really got some rhythm. You know, it only takes a couple 1st downs to change the mindset of the players, the feeling on the field, and more importantly, Jim, the guy calling the plays. You know, we talk about the rhythm of players all the time. Play callers, especially offensive coordinators, they need some rhythm too. Scott Linehan, well, okay, we got some things set up. We're protected a little better. Now you can maybe draw a few plays up from that play sheet you haven't had a chance to run.
Where they marked it, they gave him the 1st down. So from the 38, Cowboys drive over 4 minutes long. Handle short side, and nothing there except Sheard, who had a big 1st half, including a sack that helped lead to a field goal right before the intermission.
Had a big season. Just, you know, you don't even ask. When we met with Bill Belichick last night, I didn't even ask him, like, who's going to start, who's going to play. If you don't play for the Patriots in the game, you're in trouble, because they like to use everybody on both sides of the ball.
The rotation's almost impossible to keep up with. Well, they've got it figured out on that sideline. 2nd and 9. Dump off to Randall, and McCourty's there, Collins is there, and a loss of 2 or 3.
This Jason McCourty, well, and Collins. Collins is like the new age linebacker. Watch 91. Here in the middle, sees the run, reads the quarterback, and he's just so big, long arms, and can be all over it. Was there anybody open? No. Double coverage on who? Did you see the double coverage on Jason Witten?
Saw that. Anybody was open. Maybe Escobar had a step or two, but not much there. 3rd and 12.
Couple yards to get in field goal range.
And Whedon's pass. It is complete. Devin Street, 2nd catch of the year. And the Cowboys have a 1st down.
Catch of the day for the Cowboys. Lays out, gets his hands underneath it, toes on the ground.
Did that ball, though, was it all the way to the ground?
I think it is. The ball's allowed to hit the ground. Yes, he has possession. That is a completion.
Not going to be challenged. Go back to Randall, and he rips off a good run and a good wiggle. Plows ahead for another 4 or 5, and that's Joseph Randall's best run of the game.
Well, now this looks like the Cowboys, and even I'm sitting here. This is what they were hoping to do from the beginning: control the clock a little, make their running game really get active. And the best thing they're doing, they're running right at New England, not going sideways, going straight ahead. Seems to be working a lot better than anything they tried in the first half.
They have more yardage on this drive than they did the entire first half. This their first possession of the second half. And 1st down carry by Randall. And it's another good effort by the 3rd-year back out of Oklahoma State. Give him 5. He's got 61 on 15 attempts. One possession by the Patriots to start the quarter, which led to a touchdown. And now this drive that's taken up nearly 7.5 minutes for Dallas.
Dublin Beasley and Jason Witten.
McFadden. He is ridden down by Alan Branch. And the Cowboys will face a 3rd down snap from the 7. And they'll need 4 for the first. Patriot player is down, and that is Deron Harmon. Third and 4 at the New England 7. They're down 3 scores, so unless they get, I would think, inches away from a first, you got to at least get a field goal out of this drive, Phil.
I agree, Jim. To me, unless it's inside of 1 yard and you feel confident, you kick the field goal and you continue this game and keep it to try to get it to 2 scores.
Here's Witten in motion. Whedon's pass to the other tight end. No, it is Witten, in fact. Witten, but he's only able to pick up 2.
Well, it's just, it's smart. Look what they did. They tried to give Witten some room, make the defense back up. They go, well, okay, we will, because they knew the yardage. Watch McCourty, 32, goes around. He knows he doesn't have to over pursue and puts it in a tough position and makes another good tackle on the side, makes him kick a field goal.
Heard a few boos as they bring out Dan Bailey, but you got to come out of this down 17. You got to bring it within 2 scores.
Absolutely. No-brainer. Jason Garrett ran him out there.
Bailey's kick from 23 is good. A long drive for Dallas. It lasted 8 minutes and 31 seconds, but it only produces 3. Jim Nance, Bill Sims, Tracy Wolfson, a Cowboys season that began with so much promise and optimism. Opening win they had against the New York Giants, then the win on the road at Philadelphia. So they got a road win in the division. They're 2-0, 2 division wins. And now 14 down, in danger of a 3rd straight loss. All of this, of course, coming apart with the loss first of Des Bryant and then their leader, Tony Romo. Patriots will come out of the 20 here, late 3rd quarter. Here's a look at our nationwide Skycam with a minute and change to go in the 3rd quarter. Patriots lead it 20-6. Tom Brady with a touchdown run from the yard out and a touchdown pass to Dion Lewis. There he goes back to Lewis. Church is on him for 5. You look at the Patriots are coming out of their bye week. They get the early bye, which most teams would rather have it more in the midseason. But going into that bye, they put up 51 in a win against Jacksonville. Scored on their first 9 possessions of that game.
This offense really never goes into a protected mode. They're always pushing it.
And there's a tackle on Blunt. 2 yards shy of a first. And on the season, the Patriots have only trailed for 3.3% of the time on the clock.
Well, what the Dallas Cowboys need, they need a big defensive stop. They need to make a play on the defensive side. Greg Hardy been resting. He's back in the game. Can he fire this defense up to maybe give him a chance to get back in this game? You got to admit, for a guy that's been out, all that we talked about, his presence on the field was great in the first half. And his play was outstanding.
Oh, especially in the first quarter.
Yes.
So they've just announced that that is going to be the end of the third quarter. 20-6 as we head to the fourth. Back after this message and a word from your local station. And let's take a look at next-gen stats presented by Esurance. Today, Edelman, 3 receptions, and was able to break tackles, get 61 yards total. Gronk, key on that first drive of the second half, 51 yards on 2 catches on that drive alone. 3rd and 2, big play to start the fourth quarter, up 14, New England. Brady goes for a second option. What a catch. Reaching out and making the grab is Keyshawn Martin, who they picked up in a trade from Houston.
Really tremendous job. Look what the Patriots do. They did it on both sides. They stack receivers. They make you back off, but here's what makes the play. Tom Brady, the movement in the pocket, really just, his decline in ability is 0. His arm is as good as I've ever seen it. His foot movement is still outstanding. I think he's throwing the football great so far this year.
And he steps back, is looking down the field, and he finds wide open. He's got Amendola with a flag out.
You think Julian Edelman laying down the middle of the field ran into the defender, probably Claiborne, who was covering Edelman. But you see what I mean? The difference when you watch the Patriots, how they always, Dion Lewis is getting the pick on one side. They stack the receivers. So it always puts the defensive player, it makes them back up and just gives the offensive player just a greater chance of getting open. They're just not going to stand there stationary and let you beat them up.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 11.
Oh, it is.
The 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
And this offense motors along, and it's not like they have one of these receivers that people consider to be, just an absolute beast on the outside.
No, they've created their own little offense. You saw right there, Edelman going across. That's a good call. You think, look, you got to avoid the defensive players if you can. But they have done something different. They've taken smaller receivers and created a role for them in this league, and they play them inside a lot. And they just don't split them out there and say, hey, you're Dez Bryant, Calvin Johnson, beat somebody one-on-one and we'll throw it to the sideline.
And they got one-on-one down here for Gronkowski with Claiborne, the defender. They'll take this one, though, to Lewis, and again, he swings away from the tackle.
Yards after catch. We got to let them catch it and tackle them. It's a great thought, but they are the best at getting extra yards after the catch. Dion Lewis, we've seen it with Edelman, Amendola, and of course Rob Gronkowski. He does it a little different way. His yards after the catch are just because he can carry people with him
and shove people to the side. as we saw on that one catch in that third quarter. Brady's hit his last 7 passes. He's got 2nd and 13, and he's got an open Edelman. And look at Edelman break 2 tackles, and Edelman is home for the touchdown.
Tom Brady took a big hit, but once again, the deceptive offense, what they did, he was inside, comes outside, and the Cowboy defense doesn't react.
Boy, it was Brady hit by Hardy.
Ooh, never saw it. Edelman, look at this. Oh, let's get another pick on the inside. And Edelman, I don't know how tall he is. Let's say 5'10", but he is made of steel. He is tough. We saw it. We see it all the time. We saw it in the Super Bowl. And tremendous with the football in his hands.
Edelman's 3rd catch of the game that went for at least 20. This one goes for 59 and a touchdown. And the Patriots go up 21. Edelman, the former Kent State quarterback, who didn't even think about being a receiver until he played his last college game, and somebody said, you can make it in the NFL at another position. We're back, and you're looking at Jason Witten. He acknowledged he grew up wanting to one day be on a cereal box, and that wish has come true.
How about that?
Witten's Lucky Stars at local Albertson stores.
I wonder what my cereal would be. Eat it so you won't feel good? Or no, I shouldn't say that. But what a play by the Patriots. Again, another play, a different look.
By the way, Brady in this half has not missed. He's 8 for 8, including 2 touchdowns. And
oh, yeah.
These two guys grew up about 8 miles apart in the South Bay, the San Francisco area, Redwood City and San Mateo. We talked last night to Julian Edelman. All he wanted to do in college was try to take his team to a bowl game. Didn't even think about playing professionally. And then it looked like he might go to Canada.
Was offered to go to Canada. The
Yep.
British Columbia Lions said, come up here and be a quarterback. And he had his agent, and I'm sure he's very thankful of this, said, no, try this NFL thing. You know, I think you can do it at another position. He wasn't even sure what that position was going to be.
Here's McFadden with a flag out, and he picks up 5. But Edelman ended up just working out as a receiver, just hoping to get noticed by somebody, with former NFL quarterback Charlie Fry.
That's right. Kent State, Akron, they were close together.
Offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
And in case this football thing didn't work out, he's also taking some exams to perhaps pursue a career as a firefighter down in Cincinnati. So he was keeping that in play. All of a sudden, he gets drafted in the 7th round by New England, and he wanted to talk about, people want to automatically assume he learned everything from Wes Welker. He wants to correct you on that.
Yes.
It's Randy Moss. It's Deion Branch. It's Jabbar Gaffney, Dante Stallworth, the people he's been around. He said, I've learned a little bit from all of them.
Yeah, he was correcting me. But it was well said, and that's what you do when you're that type of player. You gather information from a lot of people. Try to make it work for you.
Your weekend will start here when the Falcons, undefeated, take on the Saints on Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. They win today in overtime, and Atlanta does. And they've actually trailed in the 4th quarter of 4 of their 5 games, but they've won them all now. And there's a nice pass as Williams has his first catch of the game. Good for 17. The exact distance he covered for a touchdown against the Saints.
Beautiful throw and catch. Williams got a little separation at time from Malcolm Butler, and Brandon Weeden right on target.
And that's McFadden up ahead for 3.
But you know, real quick, just going back to the Patriots, they catch the football, the yards after the catch. It's not always the big ones. It's always those 3 and 4 that they seem to dive for. And then again, we started it, it took a while, but they wear you down with a number of different looks, and we saw one for the touchdown to Edelman.
2nd and 7, and Witten has lost the football. Was it ever a clean catch? I'm not sure that's going to hold up as a catch, but on the field, It looks like they're going to call it a fumble recovery by Freeney and New England. Have to take another look at that, as all turnovers are reviewed anyway.
First down.
It's Collins who reached in.
Well, slow motion, it looks like he has it for enough time, but if you see it in regular speed, was it a catch and fumble? It's going to be close.
Scooped up by Jonathan Freeney, who will see. Cleve Lakeman's coming out as a catch and a fumble, or is it incompletion?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. First down, New England.
Mike Carey in New York. Did you see it the same way?
I saw it the same way. I maybe even got a little stronger for a catch fumble because he had control of the ball, switched it to his left hand, then the ball came loose. I think all those points for a catch were met.
Very good, Mike. Good to see you. See you Thursday night in Atlanta.
Patriots take over
in New Orleans, sorry.
At the 36. And there is a quick tackle by McLean. We've got an update. Let's go back to New York.
That opportunistic Denver D. You're right, JB. Raiders down 9-7, driving on the Broncos, approaching field goal range. Here you go. Chris Harris Jr. steps in front of a Derek Carr pass, 75-yard interception return for a touchdown. Broncos take a 16-7 lead. Jim, Phil, and Tracy.
All right, guys, you don't mess with Chris Harris Jr. He had the longest interception return in Bronco history a few years ago on the road at Baltimore. That one went 97. This one today, 75.
Two best units in football. Patriots offense, Denver's defense.
2nd and 11. Here's a pass, and it's almost intercepted. That was Corey White.
Corey White, we haven't seen too much of this today. How about that? He read it right away, saw the fake, and shot right through there. Corey White, we told you earlier, getting the kind of the first start as an extra defensive back and has had a solid day.
That was Brady's first incompletion of the second half. He's got 3rd and 11. Gronkowski.
Wow.
You've seen that kind of effort here in Texas a lot, but it's usually over at the rodeo. Gronkowski runs with a football.
That's what it must feel like to these poor guys.
Yeah,
like,
I know it.
My gosh, there's nothing like him in the league. You know, there's no tight end block. It's physical, the size. It's so limber. And well, you know, it's right out there, could have it. If he doesn't have it, though, they're going to go for it, Jim.
4th and a foot.
Well, you're up 3 scores. If you kick it, that makes it 4 scores.
What would you call it, trying to bring down Gronkowski?
Oh, man. Steer wrestling's not
like
appropriate enough.
Bull riding or, steer wrestling?
See.
Yeah, before Gronkowski came along, the toughest 8 seconds in sport is they used to call bull riding.
You know, you got all
that
these.
belongs to the rodeo, but I think it belongs to Gronk. Here's 4th down, and the Cowboy defense denies LeGarrette Blount.
Boy, good job right up inside. They were ready for the inside run, and they took care of it. Keeps the Cowboys, what hopes they have, still alive.
You surprised they didn't go field goal there?
Nope, I thought they would go for it. This is the way they play football. They're aggressive in their decision making. That time it backfired.
You see Tony Romo and Jason Garrett. Their defense has just come up with the stop on 4th and 1.
Cover 2.
It's Williams diving ahead for 13. You know, you talk to Jason Garrett. He does say that Tony Romo gives him some ideas from time or two on the sideline.
Yeah, I would think so, and probably gives him more sometimes he wants to hear. But Tony Romo, so much experience, such a great player, knows the game, and you know, as a quarterback, you stand over the sidelines, you can see things pretty clearly.
Whedon has completed his last 9, and he doesn't have a chance to throw it this time. Second sack of the afternoon for Jabal Sheard.
Well, they're going to block number 91, but look how late the game comes. In other words, it just, the disguise and the patience in this, you know, when you're talking about doing those kind of games, it's about timing and spacing, and that time they did it perfectly. Jabal Sheard is Jamie Collins, Devin McCourty. I know I'm leaving people out, but they've all been outstanding here today.
3 sacks by New England today, 2 by Sheard. And that's Beasley trying to fake out McCourty, who moved laterally with him, holds him to 6.
You know, let me say this. We're talking a lot about New England. They're up 27-6, so rightly so. But the thing about this team, and I'm convinced, this is not the, it's going to get better. This team's going to get better as this year goes along.
3rd and 11. And not nearly enough for the first to Witten. Well, people are already starting to talk about comparisons with this Patriot team. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Yes, I think they would. They have to here. You want to win the game. You're near midfield. 4th down, 3 scores. You must go for it.
Comparisons being made to the 07 New England team.
Well,
no, it's early.
Yeah. It's just a really good start to the season if they can hang on here today.
Whedon able to slip out of it, and he's going to pick up the first by running for it.
I think if Brandon Whedon, I think today if they could have just blocked a little better and got a better flow, we would have seen more of this. Being spontaneous, you know, running with the football, moving to throw. But those opportunities have not been there for him.
Hurry, sit.
First down now for Whedon. Randall. Only 1.
Let me just answer this question. Still got a lot of time. 6:52, timeouts, 2-minute warning. Brandon Whedon's going to be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys next week. So I know that'll be a big story. Oh, Matt Castle, they're going to go to him. No, they're not. It's going to be Brandon Whedon next week as the starting quarterback of this football team.
Matt Castle, of course, the former Patriot, who came to Dallas just a couple of weeks ago by way of Buffalo. Here's Whedon loading up and firing and intercepted. It's Logan Ryan with the interception. Whedon ends the return.
Well, that was good timing on my comment, but that's still not going to change anything. Bad decision. Trying to make a play, tough to do against a good defense.
Fans of all ages snapping up the pink gear during the month of October. They're at the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop. And this breast cancer awareness program is taking place throughout the month around the league. So the Cowboys turn it over twice in this quarter by fumble and now by interception. And Blunt has a blocker in front. Look at him. Look at him going down the sideline near the 20-yard line. That was Shaq Mason, the rookie from Georgia Tech, who was leading the brigade.
69, that's what he does best. He plays left guard. When he does, he is an excellent puller. What a surprise playing for Georgia Tech and that great run offense they have down there. But when he comes in there, always be alert, runs to the right. He can pull and lead and excellent at it. And I'll say this to the Cowboys. Don't sit there and don't think New England's just going to sit there and they're going to keep coming. They play 60 minutes. It's your job to stop them. They're not going to stop themselves by kneeling on the ball. Oh, what a hit. What a block.
It's Blunt running behind Sebastian Fulmer. They're going without Nate Solder this second half because he's out with an elbow injury.
Jim, let me give you a teaching moment for young quarterbacks when you're out there playing. Here's the receiver at the bottom of the screen. Watch Jason Witten inside. They're open. You're down 3 scores. Just methodically try to go down the field instead of trying to make a great throw. And by trying to make that great throw, all you do is throw what's the word? More gasoline on the fire about your position and what you are and where you are in the football team for Brandon Weed.
2nd and 7. Here's the toss. Lewis. Back to the line of scrimmage. Week 5 continues. Sunday Night Football. 49ers at the Giants on NBC this evening. Tomorrow, Monday Night Football. Steelers at the Chargers, ESPN. And, of course, Thursday Night Football, undefeated Atlanta against New Orleans. We'll have that game for you on CBS and NFL Network. You were talking about Matt Castle. There he is. He just moved his young family. He's got another child on the way in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
And he led this Patriot team through the bulk of that season back in 2008 when Brady was injured in the first game. Went 10-5 as a starter. They lost out on tiebreakers to get into the playoffs, but he played well. Then, of course, Kansas City had a Pro Bowl season there.
Pro Bowl season, took him to the playoffs. Yep. I mean, he's very capable. But, you know, he was just named the backup quarterback this week.
That's right. Moved up from 3 to 2 ahead of Kellen Moore.
So he's still learning everything down here. So he's not ready to come in, I don't think, and start for this team.
3rd and 7. Brady calls the timeout. By the way, we've got another doubleheader weekend coming up on Sunday early. Many will see Denver at Cleveland. The Browns return home after a heartbreak at San Diego and a thrilling win today in overtime against Baltimore. So they'll be hosting Peyton Manning and the Broncos, who are winning out in Oakland at the moment. And then late, we're going to be in Green Bay for that game. San Diego and the Packers to most of the nation, all starting with the NFL today at noon Eastern time next Sunday on CBS. Now, last Sunday, talking about Tom Brady, I said, what did you do during your bye week? He attended the wedding of his sister Nancy, a Sunday night wedding in Boston. And we send our congratulations to Nancy and Steve Benelli on that wonderful occasion. And Edelman was a little twitchy in the slot. Back him up 5.
False start. Offense number 11. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
You know, I was going down the path before that interception about how the Patriots have gotten off to this start that has sparked a lot of chatter about, well, who's going to beat this team? You never know. And I could throw out all the disclaimers in the world. As they go draw with Lewis down to about the 15. But you start looking around the landscape. And I know you got an undefeated Cincinnati team. Hats off to them. And they've got Indianapolis coming up on the road. For some reason, they've had, for a number of reasons, they've had the better of Indianapolis in all these meetings in recent years.
Well, it's some tough matchups there for the Indianapolis coach. You look at the Jets, their defense, it's going to take an extraordinary, it's going to take a defense that can slow this offense down. And the Cowboys, 5 sacks in the first half. Who's going to do a better job than that? But it just doesn't deter this offense. It's so many years of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady being together, and they just keep adding ideas onto what they have. And we heard it from the Cowboys the whole day on Friday. Wow, a lot to get ready for, and they just do their best way to win the game, dominate the run game by their offense, and they had to constantly pressure Tom Brady.
Here's Gostowski out. 34-yarder. Mere chip shot after connecting on that 57-yarder, career long in the first half. Patriots this year have a 70-point differential over their opponents, up 24 here. Some of the early headlines around the league. What a comeback by the Bengals, staying undefeated, and the Seahawks lose for the 3rd time this year. And Matt Ryan and The Falcons win in overtime over the Redskins on a pick-6 return to end it. And the Packers shut down the Rams to stay undefeated. You look at that, what stands out to you, Phil?
Shoot, Devontae Freeman, the fact that Atlanta is running the football so well, they're 5-0. Listen, the Cincinnati Bengals, we know they got some guys back from injury. Their talent, they got guys at every level on both sides of the football that can make plays. But Atlanta being 5-0, can't wait to watch them Thursday night.
Well, you look on the AFC side, and you've got Denver about to close out that game. You got Cincinnati, and you got New England. They're all going to be undefeated at the end of this week. 3 of them.
Yep.
From one conference.
Yep. Some good football teams, some good units. Right now, if you said to me, I think the Patriots are the most complete team. But, you know, the other thing, too, talk about the Dallas Cowboys. It's not over. This, you know, they can recover from this. We were, what was it, a couple weeks ago? The Giants were 0-2. Maybe the worst Giant team we've ever seen. I hear people talking about it. And look where they are now. So this league can change. The Cowboys have difference makers that can help them win games. They just got to find a way to win a game here, or a couple, without Tony Romo and Des Bryant.
Well, I'll tell you where the Giants are. If they win tonight, hosting San Francisco, they will now be in sole possession of first place in the NFC East. It's over to McFadden. He tries to go between a couple of Patriots, picks up 9. Got a long streak going, scoring touchdowns. Talking about the Cowboys, 3rd longest streak in the league, 65 consecutive games, but they got 4 minutes, a little more than 4 minutes to try to keep that going. That picks up the first. McFadden ridden down by Collins.
Well, if I was Brandon Weeden, I would do that every time until they take it away from me.
Well, the Cowboys, when they lost Romo with the broken clavicle, you had to say, well, what can this team go during Tony's absence? As Weeden just flips it back over, 3rd straight time to McFadden, and they're about to lose for the 3rd straight time.
I thought they could probably go 500. That looks like that's going to be really tough to do, of course, after an 0-3 start. But a couple things. Now they got Greg Hardy back, that gives us some hope and more playmakers on the defensive side. But the offensive line just can't dominate the way we saw last year for 2 reasons.
Nice catch. Turnaround to grab it is Beasley right in front of Brown.
That was a great throw and catch that time by Beasley and Brandon Weeden.
That's the longest pass play of the game for Dallas, 21 yards.
But the offensive line and DeMarco Murray, look, they're running the football okay, but DeMarco Murray, his style, his size fit this offensive line perfectly.
And Jason Witten out of bounds at the 33. The Cowboys now off of this game. They're going to drop to 2-3. They have the bye week coming up. Then the 2nd game of the season against the New York Giants, who well, they've suddenly gotten hot here. The Cowboys beat them week 1. The Giants again tonight going for a 3rd straight win. 2nd and 7. Of course, the Giants really could have won every single game to this point.
Yes, they could have. I'll tell you what was impressive about the Giants. They played the Buffalo Bills last week. Eli Manning against the Buffalo Bills. Their great defensive front was hit 1 time in the game. Once.
Over to McFadden. I'm going to tell you that Weeden has hit 19 of his last 20 passes, and I know you're going to say, well, a lot of them have been of the short variety. He did have the one down the field for 21 to Beasley.
But, you know, listen, this is the world we live in. This is what the NFL is about, and the discussion will be about Brandon Weeden, the fact that his starting record as a quarterback, the fact that they're 0-3 since Tony Romo's gone out.
Going to scramble for another 1st down and out of bounds at the 11. So we reached the 2-minute warning And Dallas trying to at least put up a touchdown before this one's complete. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and a wide-ranging interview with President Obama, followed by new episodes of Madam Secretary, The Good Wife, and CSI Cyber, only CBS, America's #1 network. Robert Kraft has made his way down to the field with 3 of his grandchildren as the Patriots will try to keep Dallas out of the end zone here. The last minute and 53 seconds. Pass and incomplete, going for Escobar. It was Patrick Chung defended that perfectly.
Yep, Patrick Chung, a safety, plays up inside a lot, plays tight ends. Good job that time. The Patriots really deep now at the safety position. After Jordan Richards from Stanford, when he's played, he's done well too.
Second down for Whedon. Flags everywhere as he flings it. Incomplete. One of the mottos that you picked up on over at Valley Ranch, over the Cowboys facility.
Prior to the pass, holding defense, number 23. The foul is half the distance to the goal line, automatic first down.
Is how you'll see it right here, the hold. Now Coach Garrett wanted to use a mannequin as kind of a, if you will, a symbol of what he wants his team to be like. Nameless, faceless, go out and
That's who we're playing. It's about us. Yeah. Let's do our job. Don't worry about the team we're playing. That mannequin, I saw it. Had a really good-looking uniform on, and he kind of told us the story. And they actually travel with the mannequin and put him in the locker room.
There's Whedon back in the end zone, too high.
But you know, they got a lot of work to do, the Cowboys. I mean, now, this was a tremendous effort, I thought, today by the Patriots, even on the defensive side. But they really, they need time to figure out what they're going to do on offense to help themselves to be more productive, to take pressure off of their defense. You know, Jim, their defense, probably the biggest problem they had today is they had to keep going out there after 3 plays.
Yeah, they had so many 3 and outs. The Cowboys did in that first half.
You know, when you talk about defense, it's about effort, speed, hustle.
6 of those occasions in the first half, 3 and out. So now they had to keep returning to the field in a hurry as Whedon on 2nd and goal completes a pass for maybe a yard, if anything at all. No, incomplete. Whedon, though, he'll tell you that Romo's been a tremendous teammate trying to get him through this stretch. They had dinner together Thursday night here. He compared backing up Romo to backing up Derek Jeter. Popularity and
I know
success.
Tony Romo hadn't won the championships, but out down here, they think of him like he's Derek Jeter.
Of course, Whedon was drafted by the Yankees back in the 2002 baseball draft. He goes to the end zone and it's incomplete. Again, heading back to Escobar. Well, now one more attempt here.
They hit a play like that last week to tie the game against the New Orleans Saints down the sideline on 4th down, but he needs to quit relying on that type of play because you're just not going to hit a high percentage. Run the offense. Don't look out there and go, oh, I got to fade, I'm going to throw it. Look at the receivers inside, whatever. Give them a chance and not just put it up for a jump ball on the outside.
Timeout called by the Patriots. So the Patriots, just looking at the standings in the AFC East, they go to 4-0. The Jets on a bye this week, 3-1. What a start that's been for their new coach, Todd Bowles. Buffalo wins today on the road at Tennessee. Another road win after winning at Miami a few weeks before that. And the Dolphins on a bye with a new coach, new interim coach, Dan Campbell. And here's the NFC East with the Cowboys falling to 2-3. Giants again tonight. And you've got the Redskins and the Eagles also at 2-3.
So it's gone bad 3 weeks in a row. You're one game, half a game right now out of first place, depending on what the Giants do tonight.
Whedon got a man open and he missed him. Terrence Williams was all alone.
Boy, really great move that time by Terrence Williams against Malcolm Butler. And that kind of just sums up the day for the Cowboys football team, especially on the offensive side. And hey, look, it gets rough when you're in a quarterback in situations like this. Keep your head down. Don't read the papers. And of course, don't listen to talk radio. And think about your job, get better, and find a way to win.
So this is going to be the first game since September 26, 2011. that Dallas does not score a touchdown, a game in which they beat the Redskins on 6 Bailey field goals, 18-16. But, you know, we talked about Castle earlier, but given that they're going to have the bye week, another, if you will, extra time for extra 3 or 4 days for Castle to learn the playbook, do you think they might try to get things looking a little bit different, a new energy by going Castle out of the bye?
I don't think so. I think you heard Jason Garrett talk to Tracy Wolfson at halftime. They feel like Brandon Whedon made really good strides in those first 2 games. Today was not the best, but I think they'll definitely have him as their starting quarterback in 2 weeks after this bye.
Tom Brady, 275 yards and 2 touchdowns. Those 2 coaches, both sons of coaches, Steve Belichick and Jim Garrett. Romo and Belichick have a moment. And after 8 years since the last time New England came this way, they step into this building for the first time and win it on a one-sided affair, 30-6. 30-6. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes, new episodes of Madam Secretary, The Good Wife, and CSI Cyber. Phil, I'll see you, and Tracy and all the crew Thursday night down in New Orleans for Atlanta and the Saints. Jim Nance saying so long from Dallas. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50.